Hi everyone, it's Øyvind Martinsen here. I am in Romsdalen in Norway, and behind me here it has this huge mountain range. It's the Trolltindane and the 3,000 feet vertical troll wall is behind me here. In the 1980s and 1990s I used to be a climber, and I climbed many of these mountains here, including the troll wall, and now I'm back to take pictures, and it's 1,700 meters from where I stand now and up to the summit. So I'm going to shoot in vertical format with my 18mm wide-angle lens to get in both the foreground and the summits. It's a little bit misty and cloudy, but that can be interesting and give some more mystic to the image. Here are some nice snow and ice formations and sand, water. I'm gonna play with them, see if I find an interesting foreground here. Here I can see some snow formations and sand formations. I have water. I'm going to use that as a foreground towards that misty mountain behind me here. I think this can be interesting. Be careful not to destroy the formations of it. Okay. I need to go low with my tripod. We're going to try this one first. I'm going to shoot in aperture priority on evaluation light metering, and I choose aperture f16 to get depth of field here from the foreground and up to the mountains in the far background. I'm going to use a 2-stop soft Galen Rowell graduated neutral density filter to balance the light between the clouds up there and the more dark foreground I have here down in the valley. I found another interesting foreground here. See these curved shapes? Can be very nice towards the mountain. Need to go low down. See what I can get. Of it, yeah, that's cool. Fine-tuning the composition. Take one without the graduated neutral density filter. See how it works out. Yeah, not so bad. And take another with the filter. So this soft edge graduated neutral density filter is very good to use when you have mountains that goes up and down. And in this case, there's not so much contrast between the foreground and the clouds. So a 2-stop soft filter is enough. So I'm hand holding the 2-stop soft Galen Rowell graduated neutral density filter. Hold it front of the lens. Darken the clouds a little bit. Get a little darker mood up there. I've shifted the position. I'm going to work with the snow and the water and the ice as a foreground towards the mountain behind me here. So I'm going to work with my 24 to 70mm zoom lens. I'm going to change from the Carl Zeiss wide angle lens to the zoom lens. You can get the mountain in the far background a little bit closer in the picture. In this situation I'm going to use a 2-stop hard-edged Galen Rowell graduated neutral density filter. I'm going to hold back the clouds a little bit and darken them. Then I get a better contrast between the foreground and the mountain and the clouds. I put the filter in my pocket, 2-stop hard, ready to go. See, now the scene is changing. Probably we will have some colors on the clouds. So now I have to work fast. Here we can see my composition, and I'm shooting at the 35mm now on my 24 to 70mm zoom. And you can see if I zoom out, this is 24mm, this is 28, this is to 35. This is 50mm and up to 70mm. I use this composition. I found a simple but strong foreground. My tripod is a little bit higher. I have my 24 to 70mm zoom, and right now I'm at 35mm on the zoom, and I want the mountain and the clouds, maybe some colors, and then the snow and the ice and the river. And I darken the clouds with the graduated neutral density filter, the 2-stop hard edge, and I move the filter down during the exposure. Like this. If I click and then I move, click, move, click, move, then the hard edge Galen Rowell graduated neutral density filter will become a soft edge filter because I move it during the exposure. And that's the same thing we did in the old darkroom when we did burning and dodging on in the development process in black and white. Now I'm using a 2-stop hard edge Galen Rowell graduated neutral density filter. I'm going to make it a soft stop by moving the filter during the exposure. So I'm at the aperture f16 and ISO 50. That gives me a long shutter speed in aperture priority in this light. So now I'm at 0.4 seconds. I'm going to move the filter from the top and down during the exposure. Then the filter, the hard edge filter, become a soft edge filter. That's a way you can improvise when you take pictures. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Yeah. The reason I'm doing it is because if I hold the filter still, the clouds will be a little bit too dark. So this is a way to go around that and get a little bit lighter clouds, but not too bright. Now I will have some colors on the clouds here. So I'm going to work fast. Now the light is changing. Yes. And here we have a small avalanche above me. It's no danger for me here, but It's probably about 600-700 meters long, that avalanche. It's, the dimensions here are very big. Now you can see it coming down in free fall up there. So the avalanche is moving down, and now it's just a snow cloud coming. And a smaller one is above. It's coming down very slowly. It was a beautiful winter evening here in Romsdalen in Norway, and behind me here is Rauma river, and beautiful mountains are everywhere, and I got a couple of good pictures, and let's go inside and take a look at them in Adobe Lightroom. Hi again, now I have uploaded my photos on the computer, and let's take a look at the pictures. This is one of my first compositions today, and you can see my settings here. I use ISO 200, I have the 80mm wide angle lens, I have aperture f16, and the shutter speed was 1/8 of a second. I used aperture priority mode, so I select the ISO and the aperture, and the camera select the shutter speed for me, depending on the light here in the image. So this is one of the variations I worked on, and here is another. And you can see I have depth of field from the foreground to the far background, and I get that because I use aperture f16. So the rule is large number, for example f16 or f22, equals large depth of field. So here it's sharp here and in the back. And I like these curvy lines here, nice shapes and nice contrast here in the foreground towards that misty cloudy mountain here. And another variation was this one, and this one. Then I changed the position and I moved over to this location, and this is not the best image from this shoot, but it has something in it. I darkened the sky a little bit with a graduated neutral density filter, and then I got better contrast between the foreground and the background. And here I changed the lens from the 18mm wide angle lens to my Canon 24-70mm lens, and in this case I zoomed into 28mm, and I had the same setting with the aperture f16 and ISO 200, and the camera selected 1/8 of a second shutter speed depending on the light here in the picture. And then it got really interesting. This picture is the best from that evening, and here you can see I changed to ISO 50, and I zoomed into around 32mm. I still used the aperture f16, and the camera selected the 0.4 second shutter speed. And the reason why I lowered the ISO is because I needed longer shutter speed to be able to move the graduated neutral density filter during the exposure. And I moved it from the top and down during the 0.4 seconds. So I clicked and dragged. Then I turn the hard stop 2-stop Galen Rowell graduated neutral density filter into a 2-stop soft by moving the filter during the exposure. And this is the best shot from this evening, and I got good colors, nice contrast here in the tones between the cold and warmer tones here in the colors. I like the river, so I get a little bit motion blur in the water because I have 0.4 second exposure, and a little bit contrast in the foreground because there are some small rocks peeking out from under the snow, and you have different layers in the image here, and gives it the illusion of a 3D image here in the 2D format. So thank you for watching this video, and please like and share this video, and if you want to be alerted about new videos, you can click the red subscribe button below the video here, and you get a warning when I post new videos. And I'm going to post a lot of videos in the next weeks, months and years. And let's take a look at the pictures in full frame mode before we end the video. So I will go back. Here's a large format. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you soon in the next video.